Alright, Charlie. Charlie. The Champions League, any Konyaba, up and down. The games that have been played, how teams are fair, And I said it on Ishra on the show, say we are in the Champions League era where the point is more about between than a channel. If you are in any team, that's the one starts here and your pointer, then the table no share. If by the time I realize that only a boy do baby, so that is why all the teams are taking things serious. The teams have gone unbeaten so far. Paris Saint-Germain, Money are there, then of course other teams that are also struggling. There are lots of things I want to talk about, and now there's a conversation about Enzo Maresca's preparation. There is a secret plan in the lead up to that. I asked him to start a match in Enzo Maresca. With a pre-match press conference. When I listen to the full tape and I'm saying, this is it. I need to bring to the people that listen to me here at Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Of course, a lot of the conversation around and not games that call. So can Arsenal really win a trophy this season? Is there an issue with Barcelona and all of those things? We'll talk about all of these on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Michelle, subscribe to the channel, turn on notification, turn on Michelle. Make sure say what any notification, what you all hi Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Yes, sir, and mommy. Like I said yesterday, there is the FMS Studios where it houses two more channels. First one, there are 4-Post podcast. 4-Post podcast is a sports podcast that we talk about sports. Bring on Michael Akomia, Jemfi, Masara Boyd, all of these guys come. We talk about sports, Kike Monte. But also on that channel, we have younger, analysts that from KNUST students that also come to put their content, that also come to shoot and put it out there because we will shoot once or twice in a week. And then, of course, we have another channel, but that is our newest baby. It's called FMS Trends. FMS Trends. And the best place we want to be giving you the trendy news analysis like I do over here. The lady is called Maureen Marshall. She sits down, she talks about what is trending, gives you the news, explains to you. Brilliant lady. She's the one who's on FMS Trends. Michelle, once you watch this video, just search on YouTube FMS Trends. That channel will come. Kindly subscribe to that channel for us. A social channel. So share it to people also who like the social conversation, politics, all of those things. The FMS Trends will give that to you. Or when you invest there, then we'll go again after last night's big boom. 10 odds boomed, 6 odds did boom. I have my people from Abosoka who called me and said, Charlie, a Tuesday, dropping it. Wednesday, dropping it. We are going again today's course. Of course, to even those of you who want the long bets now, today we've done the long bets also for you from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I think on Saturday, Wednesday, we've put up long bets for you. We usually don't do this, but I did that for you as a Fiifi-Manfred. So I've been to all of you, congratulations to bet. Go to the description of the video below. Video in the description. I don't understand why they say that. The video is in the description. Just go there and pick it up and make sure that you go and win something really, really good for yourself. But let's say the thank yous. First off, yes, most spare parts dealership shop. Charlie, Krumasi, say car spare parts there. Then one, yes, most spare parts dealership. Or Accra, Abuso kind post office a honor, but only Accra, they just call them on 059-313-8221. 059-313-8221. Call Yesimo today, and them take very, very good care of you. Of course, on the other side, MOB Clothing. Tariano Tong, the best place for apparel, retailing, wholesaling, or Accra. Tudu Aflau Station. That's where MOB Clothing is there about the shop. Call them if you are not in Accra for your delivery, both retailing and wholesaling. Call them on 0200-668-708. 0200-668-708. Call MOB Clothing today. And them take very, 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 very good care of you, pa. Come on. Then you can enjoy everything that is going on. Of course, to be very honest, nobody beats Arsenal Football Club 4-0 in the second half. If Arsenal had beaten Atletico de Madrid, like a lot of people were worried, maybe 2-1, 1-0, fine. But for them to beat them 4-0 in the second half tells you the strength of Arsenal. And then Diego Simeone was clear, talking about how Arsenal team are intelligent, how they are brilliant, and how they have been able to learn. Like, I mean, if you listen to Diego Simeone talk about this Arsenal team, the quality that Arsenal team comes with, it tells you that it's a very, very good team by El Honum. And like I said, if it was about the first half, that people went in there to go and play their football and Arsenal scored a goal before turning things around and fine. In the first, by halftime, it was 0-0. Arsenal came back in the second half and walloped Team Efrenum, what's the name? Team Efrenum, Atletico de Madrid by 4-0. For me, that is the real talk of quality in the middle of the park. I mean, look at Declan Rice's performance, Victor Gyökeres, almost everybody in the team. Quality display for Mikel Arteta and his team for the kind of job that they were able to do. And what it means is that in 9 games, Arsenal have scored 26 goals. They've conceded 0. Strong defense. Arsenal have never lost or conceded in a Champions League group phase or league phase game at the Emirates under Mikel Arteta. That is solid numbers for Mikel Arteta and his boys. For you to have this, and that's why a lot of people are beginning to ask the question that can Mikel Arteta's Arsenal win something this season? I think so. I think this is the season where Mikel Arteta's Arsenal win something for themselves. I know that some opponent fans like Chelsea fans will not be happy to hear it, but I mean, that is the truth. I have to do my job as an analyst. If you look at it, it looks like Arsenal are on the right track to win something this season, and it looks like that is going to start from that Champions League over there, of course. And it's not just me. If you look at the quality that they have, look at the defense: Mosquera, Ben White, William Saliba, Piero Henkapi, all of these quality in the middle of the park. They have depth defensively. They are resolute. They can score from corner kicks. It looks like a complete team. I mean, it looks like a complete team. I mean, look at when Chelsea played with Thomas Tuchel in 2021 in that Champions League run. I mean, it was a solid defense that won Chelsea that Champions League. And you see the Arsenal team literally going in that direction with respect to how they are playing. If they win it, then congratulations to them. If they are not able to win it, then that is a very, very, very big problem for Mikel Arteta and the match. They need to find a way to be able to get those swings from there for themselves and then for the fans. Very, very important. Very, very important over there. We'll see how things are going to go. Of course, I have a Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. They need to come on and call because, of course, and then there's going to be huge Champions League game. Enzo Maresca's Chelsea are playing against Team Ajax Amsterdam. And like I was saying last night, the good thing is that Chelsea want to have almost all of the important players that, I mean, everybody knew that were available on the back. Of course, for Cole Palmer, we all knew he's not available. My brother friend Levi Cole, we all know that he's not available also for a very, very long time. I mean, he's not going to be available for a very, very long time. Of course, Arsenal are world class. While we struggle to beat Benfica and Newcastle, are finding it's much easier sometimes. Respects the rival. Some see football as simple mathematics of addition and then subtraction. If I recall, PSG thumped Arsenal out of the Champions League last season by 3-0. The football doesn't work like that. Don't talk about Chelsea. We are missing a lot of key players, of course. Let's get straight into the Ajax Amsterdam game, like I've been saying. A big one. So we'll share the conversation in and around the Champions League. Enzo Maresca in Chelsea, particularly as a man said, started. It was in and around the time when Chelsea started season nicely, and then all of a sudden, Chelsea now began to drop points because of one. They started with that game that they went away from FC Bayern Munich. Now players prepare. So Kupama Koko Prayer, what's the name? Levi Koko Prayer. Chelsea go away from home to go and play against Bayern Munich. Chelsea dropped points against Bayern Munich, and then of course came back. It started a cascading effect of losses. Now, Chelsea getting back to the form where they've been able to win games to a certain level of consistency so far. Now, also came when they beat Benfica by 1-0 at home. Now, that is a very, very important thing to be able to do if you're able to beat Benfica by 1-0 at home, and then it kickstarts your team beginning to perform well. Now, that is what Enzo Maresca will do. Baby, I bought Champions League, like I said earlier in the intro, it is really about how you pick up your points. These are times where you pick up the points. Now, the Ajax Amsterdam team, is a struggling team. It's not a team that has been playing well. Ajax Amsterdam has not been playing well. Essentially, it is what's the name? It is Ajax Amsterdam that have been struggling. And Johnny Heitinga, both in the league and in the Champions League and wherever, they are struggling to get results. So it is a big opportunity for Enzo Maresca and his boys to come in and play the football and get the results that they are looking for. Now, if you look at Ajax Amsterdam team now, Champions League, it's Chelsea now a big opportunity for them to prove to people, say, winning the Club World Cup. No, it wasn't just by a fluke. And in that, they will be able to win more games consistently. So if you will be able to win more games consistently, now okay, the Conference League, Mickey Mouse trophy of a sort, then you do everything possible to win this one, because in Kofosi a Mickey Mouse trophy and you'll be to me how are you going to be able to win in this one? You prepare, you plan, and you go into it. I know Enzo Maresca have gotten the best news in terms of the availability of Enzo Fernandez in the team, Romeo Lavia in the team, availability of Moises Caicedo in the team. In fact, this Ajax Amsterdam game, I wouldn't be surprised if Enzo Maresca starts a match, without a branch of friend Moises Caicedo. I won't be surprised, and again, this would have been a match in Cabrante friend Dario Isugo or Horma. Sign Fiifi-Manfred 6, he would have been the one who would have played, because now it would have been a game where you are going to play an Ajax Amsterdam side or Champions League team who aren't in great form. So if you play this game without Moises Caicedo and you start with a bench friend Dario Isugo, there is nothing wrong with that. Dario Isugo can now come in, play and work in the middle, and then you allow you allow them to go up top to go and get a job done. You allow the other players to go and express themselves. And with the number of midfielders that are available, Andre Santos is available, Lavia is available, Enzo Fernandez is available, Moises Caicedo is available. No? Like I'm saying, see a starting game, Enzo Fernandez, Enzo Maresca, Eddie, Moises Caicedo are Toncheng. Then he's starting two other midfielders to control the game. It is very, very important, the plan with which Enzo Maresca person come match him. Of course, Obekaya was in a pre-match press conference. He was asked about the availability of what he's going to do. It looks as if the little mistake in the starting of the game against your friend Brentford, team your friend Nottingham Forest, he's not going to repeat that mistake again. It looks as if Enzo Maresca will start with a striker, because as when it comes to Joao Pedro and getting the best out of him, it is not in an area where Joao Pedro plays as a number 9. You don't get the best out of Joao Pedro when he plays as a number 9. You actually get the best out of a branch friend Joao Pedro when he plays as a number 10 or a second striker. And a branch friend Joao Pedro is able to feed off, because if you look at the game against Nottingham Forest that McGill played at, one thing that I must say improved for me and the McGill, and so a couple of weeks ago, when people kept on saying, Afi, why is it that Enzo Maresca is not starting McGill? I told you that forget that people that are telling that, Chelsea want to loan him back in January and all of those things. All of these are just conspiracy theories. That is not a reason why Chelsea were not starting McGill. Maresca felt that he was not doing something that he wanted now. So you see, McGill is a good player, but a whole player. So those kind of players, sometimes they are positionally not disciplined. Now, if you listen to Enzo Maresca, Tyree George was the positionally most disciplined guy. So what Tyree George does is that he's always in between the width of the 18-yard box. That's what Maresca wants his number 9 to do. You don't have to drift too wide. You don't have to go to the left side, because he has a left winger, he has a right winger whose job is to keep the width. I mean, it's positional play, right? And what he wants in the number 9 is that stay in between the width of the 18-yard box. Right width, left width, stay there. Because according to him, if you're able to stay in that area, what you do is that you keep the center backs there. Then it's able to allow him to have 1v1 for his fullbacks and opponent for his wingers and the opponent fullbacks. And of course, if there's a second striker, he attacked those options. But mind you, said this is also a game where there isn't a bright friend, Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro is also injured. He is not there. He had a red card. So it means that Chelsea are going to be going to this game without Joao Pedro. That is why Enzo Fernandez looks like he's going to play as a number 10. I mean, when you look at where they are going to play in terms of who goes into it as a number 10, who occupies that 10 half space area, I won't be surprised that if Joao Pedro is not there, then it's going to be more of Lavia, Andre Santos, Moises Caicedo of a sort, and then Enzo Fernandez in that area, and then keep the two with the two wingers, play with the two centre backs. Maybe Tosin Adrabiayo looks like he's going to get back into the team and come and play some football for Enzo Maresca and his charge. That looks like the plan. Of course, for Ajax Amsterdam, no matter what you do, they will play. No matter what you do, Ajax Amsterdam will play. They will always play their football. Whatever you do, they'll play out from the back. They will try to overload you in central zones. Somebody try some with the extra player bomb. They won't pay anything. Like Enzo Maresca came on a pre-match press conference now about the discipline of Ajax Amsterdam boys now. If they're able to be disciplined enough, they're able to be disciplined enough to be able to get a job that or they asked him Enzo Maresca about setting the team or discipline problem, and like I said, for sure, or say for him the players can do better, but he doesn't think it's about discipline. I said the last time that I agree with Enzo Maresca in terms of discipline in saying because I don't think it's an issue of discipline. I don't think because team again discipline. I just think that some of the things have just been unfortunate for them. Oshe, baby, Malo Gusto, airborne ball. How Malo Gusto plays his football and where he plays his football from. How he imposes himself in matches. Baby receiving a ball there. He's not a bad player, but baby these are extra yellow card for me. It's not indiscipline. It's just lack of smartness, because it is one thing to want to go into duels and win duels and be physical when you're a day because you don't want teams to bully you. It's also one thing to be smart about it. Say, okay, Madrid can the yellow card. Yes, I want to go into this tackle because but then I'm the wrong person because Madrid can the yellow card and it is almost in their area. Let me not have to go down on a tackle and then get that yellow card. It is a wrong thing to do. You don't have to do that. And that is where Enzo Maresca needs to sort things out in terms of and in the players, not of course. Say Enzo Maresca and Reece James leadership. Yes, now if you go to Chelsea's training ground, Reece James has been super. And to be very honest, I've been seeing videos where Reece James has been doing a very, very good job. I remember that header, in that Liverpool game where Reece James was right and direct. Now, Okache boys to say, today, if we play according to our plan, we will beat them. And that's exactly what happened. And he is mentoring young players, which says Steve Willian, the likes of Jimmy Bino Gittins, Alejandro Garnacho, putting all of them together from all parts of the world to get a job done. Of course, getting supported from the likes of Moises Caicedo, and Enzo Fernandez. That is something that Chelsea wants in that regard. So they always try to play their football for sure. It will be a difficult game. They are a club that have won the competition in the past. They want to prove to everyone that they can come here and then beat us. I like the mentality of Enzo Maresca as a coach. You see, when I listen to Enzo Maresca, he doesn't ever give me the vibe that he's overconfident. And it's one of the reasons why I am confident in him, because I can only be confident in people who are not overconfident. Because if somebody is overconfident, whoever comes. When Maresca is playing against even the teams that are not informed, he gives them respect. Yes, in the pre-match press conference, on the playing, on the training, on the pitch, you would expect that Maresca probably does more in the sense that he will be able to get his players to know that, okay, I've said that they're a good side, we have to give them respect, all of those things. But when we go into the field of play, it doesn't have to be like that. We just have to do some sort of crocodile John, in the pre-match press conference. But on the field of play, it's aggressive playing of football, getting results, making sure that everything is sorted. You understand? And that is exactly what Enzo Maresca, planned to go ahead and then do the things that they want to do to make sure that they come in there, play their football, get the results that they want to get on. That is, I like the fact that he's just not complacent because Ajax is in a bad form. I have form But Maresca keeps on saying, "Oh, you have to buy more, they will deliver, or more bono. It's in the kind of football that they are playing. They will come in handy. They've won a competition before. Maresca, nobody cares about Ajax Amsterdam winning the competition. This is a game where Chelsea has to win. Chelsea just cannot afford to lose against Ajax Amsterdam at this point in time in the Champions League competition. If Chelsea drop points against Ajax Amsterdam, a big issue. In fact, it can begin to rekindle conversation around Maresca's possible sack. You just cannot drop points against Ajax Amsterdam. It's a team where or struggle or bono results and on no. So you have to make sure, especially also about Wolfie, you have to stamp your feet. Inter echo away from home, or Ajax from home. Echo bomb from. This is a game where Chelsea, yes, the absence of Cole Palmer, money at the other is there, but Chelsea should be able to go into it and then win, especially off the back of a 3-0 win, winning from the international break, getting that win against Liverpool, coming back from the international break, scoring 3-0. I've said it several times. What Enzo Maresca and his team desperately needs is momentum to go on a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 match runs of constantly winning and not dropping points. It is going to give them some level of confidence that they probably haven't gotten before. And that is exactly what Maresca has to do. If you're able to get 3.30 and then you get a job, and especially when the last time against Benfica was much more gritty. In a game, I mean, easy to win, and then you manage to make sure, say, at the end of the day, you get the results there. Then, in a game like this, when you come in, you should be able to make sure, say, you deliver. You should be able to make sure, say, results. I mean, that is the very, very important thing that Enzo Maresca, any team should be able to do, especially in the context of Chelsea Football Club and then how they are playing their matches at home. Chelsea has to beat Ajax Amsterdam. It has to be a proper game. Ajax could scarcely be coming into this game. I'm on the back of a worst result, 2-0 at home to AZ Alkmaar on Saturday. Stretched their rotten run to 1 win in 6 games. It has been a very, very bad for them. Chelsea have shaded a shallow head-to-head history with 1 win, 1 draw, while Ajax are winless in their last 11 major European matches against English opposition. 2 draws and then 9 losses for Chelsea Football Club. Only one of Chelsea's last 6 UCL games had both teams scoring. None of Chelsea's last European fixtures ended goalless. Ajax have only lost 4 of their last 20 games in the UCL. Of course, it tells you regimes close to scoring against Forest, and then with a 10th consecutive club goal to arrive at after halftime. Of course, Oscar Gloth has netted 3 times for Ajax across all competitions. Joao Pedro will be missing our Chelsea team. Of course, people are expecting that is a Chelsea handicap win. I think so too. I think this is supposed to be a Chelsea handicap win to build up from where they've come from, the games that they've played. This is supposed to be a Chelsea straight handicap win for them to go into the match and be able to go into some match and then get the results against your friend Ajax Amsterdam. If Chelsea don't win, like I said, it is tantamount to Enzo Maresca to be under pressure. If Maresca doesn't win some match, trouble, and a beba. Robinson saying where he knows that he has to go in there and then go and win some match now. It is a very, very important match for Papa and friend Enzo Maresca and in the Mantiano for them to go into this game and then get the results for Chelsea versus Ajax Amsterdam. And of course, the good thing, like I said, inside pre-match press conference, Enzo Maresca mentions Liam Delap is going to return very, very soon, for Enzo Maresca. And in the Mantiano, something that seems to be very, very good for Maresca and everybody. And now, in the middle of the park, my brand friend Femi Lopez, and in front of Mundo Deportivo is written largely, boldly, well inscribed over there, amateur Super Lopez. And in that game against Olympiacos, Femi was there. You see, baby, now Barcelona were and run. It's the same place that Chelsea are today. Barca knew that they needed to beat Olympiacos and then beat them soundly. to get their season into the place where they wanted to. For Chelsea, it's about continuity, it's about momentum, it's about really keeping and staying on the right direction. And then it starts with that big game against Ajax Amsterdam tonight. Or Stamford Bridge on them. They just cannot afford. I mean, it's a game where you put your all, you put your strong foot first, you go into it, you dig deep, and then you sort it out. Hopefully by halftime. And then, of course, one of the top performers for Football Club Barcelona yesterday was Fermin Lopez. And right in front of Mundo Deportivo, they call him Super Lopez. Super Lopez. Yesterday, their finishing ability, in between the line reception, I mean, general control of games was done by a brand here friend Fermin Lopez. Barcelona accepts the decision, say their game Miami and then Quebec also Omune Villarreal match, La Liga for Javier Tebas said it's not going to happen. And Barcelona say they accept the decision to cancel the match in Miami, but lament not having an opportunity to expand the La Liga market in the United States. All them say, okay, when they go and then they just go and advertise one game or Miami, it's a marketing procedure, and then it helps expand the market to the La Liga. United States on them, and then from there maybe they are going to get more investors on the United States, because if there are numbers in the US of A that are watching the Spanish La Liga, then investors on the US of A would want to pump in money and then bring it to the Spanish La Liga and also get good money in terms of fees. That's something that they have to do. Of course, Barca for them was solid and rap over there in front of sport. They did not say that Lopez, they called him the morale booster ahead of the classic. Of course, yesterday's game, Barca got all the morale booster that they needed. They needed that morale booster. They needed to be able to deliver and get the results. They needed to be able to play well, go into the match, win some match, and then put themselves in a pole position. Madrid will play in a difficult game of assault against your friend the Juventus or Champions League. I mean, if you're looking at Madrid playing against Juventus Sofia, it's a tough one. But if they have been able to finalize theirs, if team and friend of Barcelona have been able to finalize theirs there, then it puts them in pole position and it gives them that morale boost. Going into it. And now inside game, Nicole was right there to go and support Lamine Yamal, and then Lamine Yamal, allow the boy to be a young man and enjoy his time. That is exactly what Lamine Yamal living a life of course. And now he was very instrumental for Football Club Barcelona. Very, very instrumental power for Barcelona and how they're going to do their things. And then Madrid are playing their game against Juventus. Madrid have good history against team and friend Juve. They're able to get the results against them. Ousmane Dembele and after the game against Leverkusen was asked about killing Mbappe. Say, I hope Mbappe wins the Ballon d'Or. He deserves it. Given his career, he's off to a great start this season. He's just scoring. I hope he keeps it like that and then wins the Ballon d'Or. These are friends. Supporting your friends to get to the very top like you do is a very, very good thing. We'll see if Madrid are able to beat Juventus today. We'll talk about that later in the next broadcast or in show, no so Fiifi-Manfred, Fiifi-Manfred, of course, guys, the one that comes at in the afternoon is between 11 and 12. Please turn on that notification also so that you just get it anytime that comes in. Thank you very much for choosing me. I'll see you. Bye-bye.